Welcome back to the Pink Floyd Collectors YouTube channel. I thought today I'd just run you through something that I've received from Italy. It's a prog music release. I believe it's a monthly release. And I became aware, I think it was last month or maybe the month before, that a friend of our group and actually one of our top advisors and considered one of the best vinyl collectors. I think at the last count he had over 300. Was it 1,000 Dark Side of the Moons? This is Stefano Tarquini, who's quite well respected in the collectors community. He's basically put together for the magazine what he considers are the top 10 rare vinyls that any collector strives to get, if you like. The top biggest priced, obviously reflecting their rare quality. So I thought I'd go through them with you. So yeah, the front of the cover, very proggy looking. And it mentions down here that Pink Floyd vinyl rare. So the magnificent magnificent 10 text by Stefano, as I mentioned. So coming in at number 1, so we're going straight into it. This is the bestseller, always goes for $5,000. This was a Japanese release of Dark Side of the Moon that came in a promo cover. It was the band live on stage. So no mention of the typical pyramid or the spectrum. Very unique for that release. So that goes for big bucks. Has been bootlegged several times. You do see it on eBay for cheaper prices. But the originals, I think the cheapest I've ever seen one go for is $3,000 up to $7,000. Then in at number 2 is the promo red vinyl Amagama. Extremely hard to get hold of this one. Obviously it's the double LP release. I'm not too sure whether this is a printing error. It mentions another version down here that we're going to talk about. But this white label red vinyl is considered very, very rare. Again, it's just due to how many were pressed. Very few were pressed. Pink Floyd at the time were trying to break into the market in 1970 in Japan. But still, even sending one out to every radio station there at the time that was likely to play, you're probably looking at under 500, more likely 250 of those were pressed. So rare because we just know that it doesn't come up a lot. In at number 3 is the Israeli twin colour, The Wall. So the story behind this is a guy who worked at a stamping agent and where they were making the records. He mixed his own pellets and he created this swirl, knocked off probably 5, 10, whatever it was, and probably just took them home himself, though it was never available commercially. But some have come up over the years. Again, extremely rare because very few exist. Is it official? It's kind of a blurry line between whether something that an employee's fiddled with and it's not recognised by the band's discography. Is it real? But then it is real because, you know, it's pressed from the masters. It's got all the right markings on it, matrix and that type of thing. So yeah, that was number 3. And then in at number 4 is the different colours that you can get for various albums. The one they've chosen here to highlight is the Wish You Were Here. But in Colombia, for a short period, they started releasing things like Atom Heart, Mother and Medal on blue vinyl. Again, a very limited thing they did. They tried it, didn't really increase sales, so they soon stopped it. But there are considered very rare, again, just because the more people want them than are available in the marketplace. The next one is the Wall on red vinyl. So this recently came up for sale. I think it was the beginning of this year. I think it went for $3,000. Again, probably a rogue employee has made this. Again, would have chosen the clear red pellets, put them in, pressed it. There's only believed to be one of these. This is only ever one has ever come up. So you can almost follow the line of the employee who got it. He just kept it for himself, and then he sold it, and then I think that person's now sold it. So it's got quite a authentic line to it. Next is the Brazilian Delicate Sound of Thunder in a number 6. Now there was another promo that was just one LP, two-sided, for Delicate Sound of Thunder from Brazil as well. But they did press this extremely rare one. Again, numbers-wise, people say 25, some say 50, but they just do not come up for sale. There was something about this being presented and then it rejected, so it was only at the design phase. If that's the story I remember about it anyway. But extremely rare, goes for big money. Then we've got the number 7 is the cow cover Japan promo. I don't know whether they've included a picture of it. Oh yeah, there it is. So this was a sampler album that came out in Japan. Again, only for radio stations and for people who would promote it. So very, very rare. Doesn't come up for sale at all. I think I know maybe about 30 people have got this, so it's not as if there's 1,000 of them, but still it's highly collectible. In at number 8, The Wall. And this is the orange Italian press, which was made for the press release in Italy. I forget from memory, I think there might be 1,000 of these, or 300, maybe 300 rings a bell. I think there's the case that some were marked with numbers up to a certain number, but there were also other copies that weren't pressed with a number. But these were basically given out at the press launch in Italy for The Wall. Next up, we've got the very rare Kenya Piper at the Gates of Dawn. Again, rare because it just does not come up for sale at all. Very few pressed. You can imagine how big the market was there. It was quite an early release. I think from memory it came out in the 70s, early 70s. So it was kind of looking back, if you like, on the original release. But still, they just didn't make a lot. So it's highly collectible amongst people who, let's say you pick out Piper at the Gates of Dawn, Pink Floyd's first album, you want to collect every one. This will be probably the last one you'll find, and you'll pay big bucks for it as well. The last one, in at number 10, is the Final Cut. And these were stamped 500 for the press release of the Final Cut. They had a gathering, I think it was a playback of the album. And when you sat down, you were presented with one of these, all numbered up to number 500. Apart from that, as far as I remember, I don't think the sleeve has got any difference. So it is a case of somebody's just stamped these limited edition copy number. But really, the only thing that makes it limited edition is the fact that they're telling you that they've stamped 500 of them. But from memory, and maybe in the comments tell me otherwise, I think the sleeve doesn't have any variations at all. Anyway, that's it. An interesting take. I'm sure everybody's got their own opinion and probably things they own take preference to this, or CD obviously hasn't been mentioned at all here, but I know some people collect CDs and they can also go for big bucks now as well. But anyway, hope you found that interesting. Thanks for watching.